come on in. This is the We Shine Media Spotlight. And I'm super excited and happy because my guest tonight, baby, let me tell y'all, she is, honey, ooh, a powerhouse. She got some information for you. And the killing part about it is what I thought, and we're going to talk about what I thought we were going to talk about. But baby, behind the stage, before we even got on here, we were talking so good, I almost forgot to put y'all in, right? So I'm not going to hold it much longer. Let me go ahead and bring my special guest on. But I'm so spoiled to the Empower Morning Show because the intro on it is long, baby. I be in here standing and sharing and all that. And I looked up, I thought, oh, I got to be on stage, girl. I ain't even send it to who I want to send it to, but it's all right. I need y'all to share it. I need y'all to post it because tonight is going to be just that good. So let me bring on my special guest. Boom! Hey, Coach. I still
Hi.
want to say Coach T, but you know, she all proper, honey. Talisha Shanice up in here, girl.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. She want to look. Talisha Robertson, CEO of Luxury Legacy Consulting. She is
That's
here.
it.
If y'all want to know about some things, we're going to tell you. But what we realize is that even though we're talking about uh, luxury legacy consulting, even though we're talking about taxes, financing for your business, your credit, we're talking about all those things to help you build legacy, help you get yourself in a position where you ain't asking somebody to go fund me, having you put yourself in a position where you can go out here and make some major moves to expand your business, having you put yourself in a situation where your taxes can set you up to build your legacy, not just for you to go out and buy a car or buy some clothes or go to the concert, but really sow some seeds into investing and making sure that your life is going to be good. We finna back it all the way back to where it started. But before we do that, can you just say hey to the people and tell them, some about who you are and what you do, ma'am?
Absolutely. Hey, everybody. So I'm Talisha Shanice, also known as Coach T. I am a mindset and money coach. So I help you shift your mindset so that you can shift your money. I help minorities grow and scale their businesses and turn them from hobbies into fundable businesses. I've been in business for 10 years in January, and I love everything that I do. I love teaching, empowering other entrepreneurs to grow and scale and to just step out of their comfort zone. So if you hear you connected, I'm telling you, you already know. I know Angela makes sure that y'all are confident in everything that you do. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you again, Angela, for having me.
Listen, I'm so grateful that you are here because in meeting Coach T, couple of years, 2 or 3 years ago, I guess through the CEO district is how we connected. And since
Hmm.
then, being able to follow her and connect with her and watch how she's able to take people to the next level in their business, next level in their finances. But she said something really important, and it was a mindset and money coach, right? And you
Yes,
can't have really one without the other. You can run around here and get you some money, but if your mindset is not right, you know how they say when people hit the lottery and they get all these millions, and then 3 years later, 3 to 5 years later, they broke again. That
hmm.
mindset was not right. Got to get the
Yep,
mindset. So let's start there because mindset really is everything. It's the key to all of it.
it is. It literally, because if the way you think about one money, the way you think about your situation, it changes everything. If you're scared of money, and I've learned that even with my clients, even with business owners, a lot of business owners don't ask for funding because they're scared that they'll be denied prior to even being told that they're denied. I see
Mhm.
people afraid of their credit, they're afraid of taxes, they're afraid of asking questions just because, well, what if they think this about me? What if they feel this way about me? And to be honest with you, even down to the way you spend money, the way you use it, the way you save it is determined based upon how you feel, where your mindset is, what you feel about money. And that's the start of it. One thing people hear me talk about all the time is if you shift your mindset, you shift your money. The way your mindset moves is the way your money moves.
Wow. That is crazy, the correlation between the two, but how serious in reality it is. And for so many people, you want to bypass that. You don't want to have your
Yeah.
money right, but you want that money to be right. You want to have those big tax returns coming in because you really want to flex. You want to floss and ball.
Hmm.
Really care nothing about you. They really don't care how well you're doing in the scheme of things because 9 times out of 10, they're probably already jealous of you when you don't even have anything. When you get
Literally.
more, they really looking at you even more sideways, even though they may smile in your face and tell you high five and you go girl and hey, dude, you doing your thing. And behind
Hmm.
closed doors, they don't have anything good to say about you. So you're stressing yourself out. You're overwhelming yourself out, being connected to people who really couldn't care less about what you think they care about.
And that's the truth. That's honestly the truth. Just like we were talking about earlier, I had to learn that the hard way. I had to learn that a lot of, even when it comes to what you're doing, your blessings, the things that's coming to you, it can be slowed down because of the people that you're connected to. And we get so scared to just shift our connections, the people that we're around, what we're doing, not understanding how it's impacting one, the way our money's flowing, it's
Mhm.
impacting the way our mind is thinking. I mean, for years I would limit myself because I was so afraid of the friends that I had in that moment, them being upset with me because of my elevation, not
Yeah.
realizing how much I was impacting myself in that moment. I
Hmm.
decided to keep it just a little bit lower so it doesn't seem like I'm boasting, or it doesn't seem
Yeah.
like I'm trying to overshadow or do too much. And maybe
Hmm.
my personality and who I am is too much. Maybe that's what I'm called to do. And
Right.
a lot of people don't understand that. They don't get it. We're connected to a lot of things, whether it's ourselves, whether it's our friends, family, partners that can impact our next level.
They can impact our next level. And the thing about it is, we get so caught up in who we think we have. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's
Mhm.
a significant other, whether it's your best friend since sixth grade, whether it's, family, whoever
Yeah.
that is. But when you get to a point where you start feeling like, you know what? Every time I tell you something, you make me feel bad about what I'm doing, or you make me feel like I'm doing too much. Well,
Yeah.
what if it's not that I'm doing too much? You're just not doing enough. And let me tell you this. I wish I knew who posted it, but somebody said, oh, Ilyasa, iron sharpens iron, but what if you're connected to plastic?
Mm. That's a good
Baby,
question.
that's a good question. That makes you, when Arsenio Hall used to be like things to make you go, hmm, what if the person that you were so putting everything on the line for, you stop, drop, and roll every time they call, you on the phone 2 hours listening to the struggle story and you got things to do,
Mhm.
but you put it on hold because you want to be the friend to be there. Or you got the person that's at the house with you and they not trying to get up and go. They not the get up and go getter that you are.
Yeah.
They're not supportive of you like you would be supportive of them. What if you're connected to plastic? How does that? Because
Wow.
if iron sharpens iron, plastic can't sharpen anything. So
It
what do you
can.
do in those instances? Because when it gets too hot, plastic is going to melt.
And the first thing is identifying what the plastic is. We gotta be honest, right?
You got to
When
be
we go in
honest.
our kitchen, we know what a plastic knife looks like, and we know
Mm-hmm.
what a real knife looks like,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we are not going to go and try to cut up the chicken breast or our steak with a plastic knife because we know the assignment that it has. We're able to identify that. This is, I've learned in my season of growing, in my season of healing, that sometimes we got to take accountability for self. Where are we? How can we
Mm-hmm.
identify what we're supposed to disattach ourselves from,
Right.
and being able to, if iron sharpens iron but plastic can't sharpen plastic, then I know that in this moment I can't use plastic for this. There are some, and that goes with our assignments. There are some assignments that people can be on with you where plastic utensils work, but when
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to cut a high dollar steak, you can't do that with plastic silverware,
You
plastic
cannot.
utensils. So you have to know how to identify the difference. But in order for you to get to that place of discernment to know the difference, you got to do the self work. so that you're not upset when you have to address those disconnections, or being able to tell those people in love that, or those things in love that, in this season I can't do that right now. I can't be attached to that right now, and that's literally, that shifted a lot for me, because I held on, even from being a financial coach, I held on to a lot, a lot of people, a lot of things, because I wanted to see them elevate. I wanted to see them level up, not realizing how long it kept me in this place, you know?
Uh-huh. And the reality of things is, when you don't pay attention because you've gotten so comfortable that you believe
Mm,
the person that's with you is on the same side of you or on the same level of you. And you want to bring
yep.
everybody with you because you just like, this my girl, that's my guy. We want to go to this next level. If I'm going to be elevated, I want y'all to come with me. But
Hmm.
this is the reality of things. Even when eagles fly, they get to altitude that something else can't go. It's going to fall
Come
off
on.
because you can't. The air is rare air, and only a certain amount of people can survive in that level of
Only a certain
altitude.
breed.
Only a certain. So you can't take a vulture up there. You can't take a little sparrow up there. You got to understand that everything is not meant to go to the same level that you are, but you have to be okay with that. And it doesn't mean that you have to dim your light, play small, act like, okay, well, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that then because, I don't want y'all to feel like I've left everybody, or,
Hmm.
I remember my daughter being in school and she was put into the gifted program, but
Mm,
it was having to require her to be bused to another location to take some courses, some classes, right? She didn't want to
hmm.
go because nobody else, her friends, nobody else was going with her. And you have to be careful about missing out on your opportunities
Yeah,
because other people can't go with you. Yes,
that's
it's
good.
uncomfortable. Yes, it's going to put you in situations. But what if, how you think, what if something happens? What if it doesn't? What if bad? What if it's going to be bad? What if it's going to be good? What if it's going to be
Hmm.
great? What if you meet somebody that you're like, oh my God, this is the
Right.
exact person, this is the exact height person I needed to get me to where I need to be for my level of business to get to that next stage. Tyler said, not everyone is meant to go with you. I've gotten okay with being alone in some rooms. I wish others would be with me. But you got to realize that at the end of the
Yeah,
day, I want you to be there, but if you're not doing the work, I can't do it for you.
you can.
You
Because
cannot.
at the end of the day, even thinking about, if you give another example, when you think about hiking, right? For all those that
Mhm.
like to stay fit, all of those who like to be in the nature, the same bags, if I decided to carry your bags and my bags on a hiking trip up this mountain, when we first start walking, it feels like a normal walk. But the further we get up this mountain, the walks look a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
as we're walking, if you have nothing on your back and I'm carrying it all, then one of us ain't gonna make it. And it ain't gonna be you that's not gonna make it. It's gonna be me because I'm carrying everything. And the
Right.
problem is, in order for you to make it to the top of that mountain, some of those bags gotta go. That's the only way you're gonna get there. If you think about a plane, they're gonna tell you we cannot go over a certain weight
Exactly.
capacity before we can
Exactly.
take off. And if it's overweight, they're not going to make the decision to keep flying. Some gotta go. Why?
Something
Because
like that.
as we go up, if the weight is not right, then we're going to come down. So even when we
Mhm.
feel like we're not supposed to, we want people to go with us. Don't take it as failure. Don't take it as, it's a bad thing. It ain't even beef. It's just, in this season I can't take you, because in order for us to make it to the top, and if you got friends that's connected to you, and this is what I had to experience, if you got friends that's connected to you, that you're scared to even explain that to, explain it to them this way: one of us got to get there, and if you taking your time, let me get there. And then if you ready by the time I get there, I'll put my hand down to come grab you. But
Yes.
I can't keep waiting on you to come with me if you don't got the same hunger as I got. Because guess what? It's too many people at the bottom. It's not enough people at the top. It's oversaturated at the bottom. because
Yes.
everybody's comfortable there. You got to get more people that's okay with being uncomfortable. And then
Mm-hmm.
you have to be okay with being by yourself, because when you're called to that, you have to know that sometimes you got to walk that journey on your own. Because once
Mm-hmm.
you get done walking, you got to turn around and say, "Hey, now I can come get you." But if
Now I
you
can
you're
come
gonna
get
miss out on your blessings if you don't stop and say, "I got to choose me this time. I'm gonna come
you.
get you if you want to go." But I can't sit here and walk this with you, because the same 24 hours I got, that's the same 24 hours you got. So we got to make a choice here. And if I get there, if you're ready by the time I get there, I'll come get you. But I
Mm-hmm.
ain't gonna sit here with you. I can't do that. It's oversaturated down here. I gotta go there.
I gotta go there because at the end of the day, I owe my future self. I
That's it.
owe who I'm supposed to become. And who I'm supposed to become can't still be standing around here waiting on you because you still woe is me. You still got issues. You still got problems. You
Hmm.
still stressed out. You too scared to start your business, but you don't want to help push me to get to mine. I've got to be able to make some moves, and I want you to come. I want you to be supportive. But 9 times out of 10, really and truly, I don't care what you do. You can be selling popcorn, you can be selling dresses, you
Hmm.
can be out here doing anything. And the people that you think are going to support you will not. They're not going to tune in. They're not going to say anything. They're not going to. They're not going to be a part of the program. They're not going to take the course. They're not going to invite people. They're not going to do any of those things until you get ready to blow up. And then they want to ride in the limo, or they want to ride, or they want to have a front seat at the concert, or they want to be
That's it.
at the conference, or they want you to put them on and get them some tickets, or make sure they all at the celebration. They want to be a part of that.
Hmm.
It's a mindset though that you've got to have to where even if I have to go it alone, I got to go and do what I got to do.
Yeah.
And
And the
that's
key
not
word that you
selfish. It's not
said,
being me.
yeah, and one of the things that you said was they don't come to support you then. They come for the ride. That should let you know everything that you need. You said it, and when they do come, when they finally see that you're getting to where you said you would get, they're not coming to support you now. They're coming for that ride because there's a sense of entitlement. Even though I didn't believe in you then,
Right.
I'm gonna take the ride now. No, I need you. I need it to be the same type of loud,
Yes.
and you got to be
Yes.
okay with that. Sometimes you have to be okay with that.
You do. And you know what? I was, y'all know social media has so much going on, and it's a particular
Hmm.
instance, a situation that's going on, and it is not necessarily a good situation, but these people were calling for this lady to come to the rescue of this situation and say, hey, you always about the kids. We want you to go talk to these people because of some things going down, and we know you can handle it. And her response
Mm.
was, I cannot and I will not. Because when I tried to tell y'all over here, you didn't support me. You drug my
Mhm.
name in the mud. You didn't encourage me. You had
Mhm.
multiple things to say about me. When I tried to tell y'all my heart, you didn't want to listen to it. But now that you're in trouble, you want me to ride to the rescue like I'm Superman or Wonder Woman. And I don't have anything. Keep the same energy. Call whoever you were calling before because you didn't believe in me over here.
Yeah.
But now you've seen what I've been doing. You know what I'm capable of. That's why you call me because you know I'm about my business. But when I
Mhm.
was talking about it over here, mm-mm, y'all weren't thinking nothing about me. Keep that same energy over
Yeah.
here. Hey, Lakeisha, thanks so much for tuning in. It is the
Yeah.
fact of the matter that, Coach T was talking about mindset. You got to have mindset right before money can be right. Because this is the thing. You cannot have the right mindset and stay with somebody who's going to drag you through everything. It doesn't matter if you say $50,000. That $50,000 will be gone just like that
Exactly. Mhm. And
because
that's
you
true.
don't have the discipline to make a decision on betting on you.
You're scared to. You start to do things that you feel like is better for everybody else. You
Mhm.
start to make decisions with your money like we were talking about, your saving changes because what happens is, like you said, I start to get in a position where now I done saved $2,000. And I'm really happy about the fact that I've saved that $2,000. But as soon as somebody else's emergency comes, Now I'm going to fix their problem. And it may not even be, and hear me, because I'm definitely the person that wants to save everybody. I think everybody knows that. What I
Mm-hmm.
had to learn is that I can't save everybody, because now your emergency becomes my emergency. And because your emergency became my emergency, now I'm paying for things. And my mom said this one time, and this was the easiest way for her to get me to understand, right? She was like, no, your money is for their bills. Their money is for their luxury. That's why you're asked
Mm-hmm.
for it. And what happens is we try to save so many people from what God had to take us through.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to save you from eviction when I had to face it in order for me to get my money mindset together. I'm trying
That
to save
part.
you from a repossession when it took me two in order to understand that I got to save my money and pay my bills. And a lot of
Exactly.
times we don't sit and understand that the same thing that taught us to be where we are so that they have the comfort in asking is the same
Mm-hmm.
thing that we're hindering them from learning, because we're trying to
Mm.
save you instead of saving ourselves. Now I'm stressed because we're repeating the same cycle that you were never called to fix to begin with.
Exactly.
It's a
We want to
mindset thing.
jump in. It is. We feel like we can be Captain Save whoever.
Hmm.
Every single time. They call you because they know you're going to jump in, no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? People are like that with your
Hmm.
time. They out here doing something else. Hey, can you go pick up the kids? Because I need you to pick up from daycare before I get charged a late fee. Where you at? Oh, girl, I got caught up over here doing something. Now you got to rush through traffic and do all these things and put some
Hmm.
of your stuff off because you're trying to help somebody else out. It's the same principle. The thing about it is, at what point is enough enough? Tyler said, I'm done fixing other people's problems. I need to fix my own.
That's
And
it.
that's the truth because a lot of times we are so caught up in everybody else's thing that we don't even realize our stuff is raggedy. Our junk is
Come
jacked
on.
up. Our stuff, like you said, you were so embarrassed for somebody else to see how jacked up you are because you've been so busy trying to make it so good for everybody else. And people make it look so easy. People don't mind because they're like, oh girl, she got it. Oh girl, she can do it. Girl, she can do it.
Hmm.
She doing everything
They
so good.
forget that you're
Oh her.
human. They forget that you're human.
They forget that you're human. You even
And
forget
then
you're
you
human.
forget it.
Yes, you even forget you're human. You out here, look, no sleep. What they say, team no sleep. Team no sleep is like you. Get you some
It's
rest.
not. Because one thing I'm going to do, I'm not missing a nap. I am not missing a nap. Okay.
Listen, take you
And
a
I had to
nap
learn
and
that.
enjoy it. Let the slide run out and be like, woo, there was some good sleep right there. Do what you need because self care is not selfish. And when you care about you, the stronger you are, the better you will be for anybody else. And you are so right
Yeah.
about the lessons because a lot of times we just want you to go through what we went through, but you're not helping people by doing that.
True. That's true. And I had to
Sometimes you got
learn
to
that the
touch the
hard
stove
way.
and know it's hot in order to realize, oh, that's hot. I can't do that again.
Because I done told you 3 times.
I
It's
done
hot.
told you. I said
You
that.
know? At what
Mm-hmm.
time? I can't tell you again. You're gonna have to find out. And that's what we have to understand. The moments that it took us to understand what we needed to do. You know, what
Mm-hmm.
did it take for me to do? What did I have to change? What did I have to fix? What did I have to not want again? And that's the question I ask all of my clients. Are you at a position where you don't want to be in this position again? Because if you're not, I'm gonna see you again.
Mm-hmm.
When you say I'm tired of this and I don't want this again, your savings change. The way
Mm-hmm.
you spend your money changes. When you start desiring something, when you want something different, the way you look at money, the way you see money, the way you feel about money, it changes. The problem is a lot of people, they get so afraid of money without learning it and understanding it. I'm scared of the words they're using. Just ask questions,
Mm-hmm.
because we run from it because we don't understand it. But in order for us to learn how to walk as effective as we can walk now, we had to go step out and do it
Right.
again and again and again. And we had to fall until we got it right. You got to do the same thing with your
Right.
finances. Understand it's okay to fail, because failure, is it really failure? I had a conversation the other day. Failure, who told us failure means that, oh, I didn't do it in my time? That was your time. You know, who said you were supposed to get it the first time? That was a goal. Just because you didn't meet the goal doesn't mean you failed. You pivot. That's it.
Listen,
It's a pivot.
that's it, a pivot. I talked to a lady on the show the other day, Rachel, and she was saying that you either win or you get a lesson. There are
That's
no pivot.
it.
We talk about losses. It's not a loss. It's a lesson. If you learn from it and you apply it so that you know going forward how to move. That's why Lakeisha said experiences will bring forth mastery. The more
That's
that
true.
you go through some things, the more you recognize it's like repetition. The more that you keep doing it, the more you learn. Okay, I can skip this step right here because I
Mm-hmm.
know last time I didn't have to do that. And I was able to make it better or quicker or faster. But
Yep.
if you don't go through it yourself, it's like driving. You can be a passenger sometimes, but you'll miss a turn somewhere. But if you've driven this way every single day for a year, you don't have to put GPS
You
on
know
it. You
how
know
to
how to
get
get
there
there
with your eyes closed.
with your eyes closed. This right here was so good. And we talked, and I want to kind of sidestep a little bit to
Okay.
remember I told you about the picture when you posted up
Hmm.
about this is how I looked here and this is how I look now.
Yeah.
And when people look at weight loss or when they look at, you changing or whatever, they think you really, are just out here, eating certain things, working out real hard or whatever. But we talked about it.
Hmm.
Can you share how your journey was through this process? How did you get from where you were to where you are now?
Absolutely. So I started 2023 at 198 pounds. Currently, I weigh 165. And I'm going to tell y'all, like I told Angela, I told myself I'm not gonna get in them people way because I know I'm not staying. I'm not gonna be consistent when it comes to the gym. What
Mm-hmm.
I learned is, it wasn't that I done anything different because I'm a person that loves to walk and I've always been that type of person. And but one thing that I started doing is my walks were different. I wasn't only walking to exercise, I wasn't walking with the goal to lose weight. I was walking because if I got upset, I'm walking if I'm angry, I'm walking trying to replace something. And because I was looking for a place of peace, a place of freedom in those moments, I realized quickly that it wasn't just a walking and experiencing, okay, my metabolism is changing. I'm not changing what I'm eating, I'm not changing what I'm doing, but I'm changing what I'm connected to, I'm changing what I tolerate, I'm changing my boundaries. I stopped being okay with listening to conversations where we're complaining all the time. I stopped
Mm,
being the go-to person for your problems, but I'm never the go-to when you're talking about your successes, because I'm an empath. I had to learn that. So now all of this is pouring onto me. I had to be okay with saying in this season right now, I can't handle it. I can't carry that for you. And doing that, it wasn't just weight from working out. It was other weights lifted.
mm,
How important is it to know that, first of all, a sense of freedom
yes.
mentally, what you do, what you feel, how you feel is important. It's
Mm-hmm,
important in everything that you do because it's what you
mm-hmm.
tolerate, how you feel, where you move, what you respond to, and all of that. It started to change everything for me. And I like I was telling you, I was like, okay, it's a lot of weight. But
It's a
I
lot.
wanted,
Yeah.
I had a goal of 185 just because I'm like, I've been this big for a minute. I think that's where I'm naturally supposed to be. And I had a goal of 185. Here we are, 20 pounds lower than that. Not because I kept pushing for it, but simply because that's not it. That's not all that was needed.
The shift that occurs when you start realizing that I've got to remove myself from toxic situations. I've
Yes.
got to remove myself from dysfunctional people. I
Mm-hmm.
can't listen to the same conversations that I used to because I'm different now. I don't feel like being bothered with that. I don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
You know how people want to gossip, like, girl, who's she talking to? I don't care because it's really none of
It
my
doesn't
business.
do
It has
anything for
nothing to do
me.
with me. It's not doing anything for me. To listen to somebody, you have to cut people off because if every time we talk, it's a problem, I can't keep letting that weigh my spirit down. Because what
Mm-hmm.
you gotta realize is some people have shoulder problems, neck problems, back problems. Not sometimes not even because you're overweight. It's
Yeah.
because you're carrying weight,
Carrying something.
mentally carrying weight that you weren't even supposed to carry. And so because you're trying to save them from themselves and you're trying to find a way to help them and you're out here
Mhm.
researching and looking and you out here talking to the people and you out here trying to make their arrangements for them, that is a drain on you. And that energy will weigh you down. The
Every time.
energy will keep you from being able to do what you need to do. When you cut the ties, when you shift, I don't even have time to talk right now. I'm finna go for a walk.
That's
I don't
it.
even have time. You know what I'm saying? Even to the point of, you know how in some conversations where you're around people sometime and they start talking about stuff and you're just like, you know what, I don't even want to be around this conversation.
Mhm. It don't feel the same.
It
It
don't feel
doesn't
the same.
resonate, and once you get there, then you start to notice shifts in everything from
Everything.
even down to, your connections. You're not only dropping weight physically, you're dropping mental, you're dropping emotional, you're dropping baggage that you may not even really knew that you had.
Right. Right.
And when you spend that time with yourself and understand that, that's when you start to see, a shift. And it's not always mental. Sometimes that does change physical. Like you said, your neck might hurt, your back might hurt, your ankles might hurt. And
Right.
it may not be just something from a health standpoint. It may be the things that you're carrying. Like, what are you carrying?
Literally. Literally. Let me tell you this. What I love about you is that in the midst of being Coach T, when everybody was like, Coach T, Coach T, Coach T, just calling, popping, this, that, and the other. And people love you. But you had to just separate for a minute and look out for you.
Hmm. I did.
Not many people do that. Not many people, because sometimes people will let people drag them down and then you don't hear from them anymore. But you put a pause on
Mhm.
that and say, you know what? Enough is enough.
Yeah,
I
I
remember your
had
mom
to.
made a post. It was like, what y'all not gonna do is take mine out, baby. Look,
Leave her
Lakeisha said, Coach
alone.
is the bomb. Your mama was like, don't call her, don't text her, don't do nothing. She need a minute. She done been there for
Mhm.
y'all. Be there for her. Give her a minute and let her do what she need to
Yeah.
do.
And I'm gonna say this, that I'm glad you said that because that's important. Your village, you know. I didn't understand that until I needed my village heavier, and when I say needed my village, let me make this disclaimer. Currently, a lot of us we're in a place where we want our village. Now
Yeah,
we need them. I'm talking about needing my village, like that's all I can do. I ain't got no more strength in me. You're
right.
gonna have to pick me up because I can't do it. You know, those are the moments where and my village did that for me. I'm gonna be honest. That take it's that's important. Who you have
Yeah.
connected to you is important because
Yes.
when you are in a place where you can't pick yourself up, the same way you pick the world up, you got to have somebody that can pick you up. You got to have people
Talk
that's
about
not scared. Like if you're an influencer, let me talk to the business owners. If you're an influencer and your community needs you, but you ain't gave enough to you, you need a village that's gonna tell you no. I'll tell them myself. You can't do it. You don't have anything else. I had to be told time and time again, what good are you to the world if you're no good to yourself? And having that village and that support that's not afraid to tell Coach T, you can't be Coach T right now. We
right.
need Talisha because you got to fix this here first in order
Mm-hmm.
for you to be everything to everybody else. So while
Exactly.
you're growing and while you're elevating and while you're moving and trying to be the best version of yourself, understand that your connections is important. Who you allow in your space is important because the
Yeah.
same way that your friend can hug on you and love on you and make you feel like you're wanted and cared about, that's the same way it feels when a snake is wrapping you up before it decides to make you its dinner.
Woo.
So you have to get to a place of understanding the people that are connected to you in your season. Some
Yeah.
people are stopping your blessings because at the end of the day, the enemy can't destroy you, but he can distract you enough that you can destroy yourself. So if you don't have the
Woo.
right people around you, then you're not going to get to where you want to be, because there is not a level that you can get to by yourself. Think about where you are right now in life. You can't tell me you did it alone. Like there is something or someone that gave you what you needed at a moment that you needed it, that helps you get to where you're going, that helps you keep the fight to get to where you are right now. So,
Yes.
like, and you got to understand that. Who are you connected to? If you feel drained and tired and struggling, and you feel like every day you angry, it's somebody connected to you that's taking more than they're giving. They're not pouring.
Yes. Yes. Tyler said, I love my sister. She uplifts me when I'm barely holding it together with glitter glue from Dollar Tree, baby.
Come on
Listen,
now.
by any means necessary. And this is the thing, that I think sometimes we take for granted. When you have people in your life who are willing to speak up, we get mad at them because we don't want to hear that we need to take a break. We
Hmm.
don't want to hear that we can't be there for everybody else. My daughter's like, girl, don't make me mess around here and do a public service announcement like, don't call my mama. Don't do that.
Hmm.
I'm like, you better not do that. But she was like, no, because if you don't set a boundary, somebody gonna have to set a boundary for you. And
Yeah,
sometimes you have to really step back and be like, you know what? Okay, you right.
you got it.
You're right,
Hmm.
because they have to listen to the fussing or the complaining, or they see me tired, or they see, like what time you go to bed, what time you wake up. They have to deal
Hmm.
with all that. Okay, so now your blood pressure up. So now this, that. They're the ones that have to pick up those pieces. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're like, before you take mines out, oh, you're gonna pump your brakes right here. What you're not gonna do is
Hmm.
cause her to be jacked up. We're not having that.
Yep.
And as much as you don't want people to put it out there, you have to appreciate when you have that level of love in your life,
Hmm. Cause you won't do it.
because you won't do it.
Especially
And,
when you're the strong friend, or when you're the person that always answers everybody's call. You
mhm,
put yourself in a position where you're not willing to answer your own call. And you need
exactly.
the people that's gonna say, no, not today, you're not. Not
Not
today.
today, you not. Should have somebody
Did
in
you
my
take a
house. I
break?
know y'all hear that alarm. Somebody in my house is smoking up something downstairs, but they're gonna be all right. They ain't told
See,
me to jump out
hey.
of the window right now, so we good. But you know what? It's so funny when you talked about, how somebody hug you and they can be a snake squeezing the life out of you and you don't even know it. You mistake it for a
Hmm.
hug of love, but they really trying to squeeze everything they got that you got inside of you, sucking the life out of you. When you
Yeah.
start changing to the point where you don't have the energy, you don't enjoy things that you used to enjoy, you don't go and do things that you used to do. When you start
Hmm.
seeing yourself slide backwards, even when you're making strides to move forward, that's a problem. But we
Yeah.
ignore red sign. We ignore the red flag. We looking at them like, oh girl, this it's just a little pink. It ain't really red. We can still, what I'm saying, it'll be all right. We can work through it.
Hmm.
Sometimes I had a friend to tell me that they were in a relationship and said God told her, I won't let you get another candle for this person to smell when I done told you to move on and to release this.
Wow.
They can't benefit. I'm not going to do anything else for you until you do what I told you to do. You won't even get
Mm.
anything that you like because they may benefit from it. That's how
Wow.
serious it can get, that God will block, He will stop
Hmm.
blessing you because you're connected to somebody who is not meant to go where you're supposed to go. It can be that serious that we have
Yeah.
to hold on. What they say, you can be at a job and you should have left, but you still stay there because you thinking I got to pay my bills and I can't afford to leave. When in actuality, you can't afford
You
not
already
to.
was told. And
You
they
cannot
don't
afford
get
not
it.
to.
You have to. And sometimes we hold on to things that we don't understand is holding us back. Literally, from relationships, from friendships, from business partnerships, like you
Mhm,
said, jobs. Because think about it. Even when you go down to your friendships and your relationships, those personal sides for you, right?
mhm.
The same way God not gonna play about you, He not gonna play about them. So
Thank
if
you.
you ain't got yourself right and got yourself together, then what makes you think that he's gonna put you in place and connect with other people to hurt them?
Oh, come on.
You're not gonna do
If,
that. Sometimes we
if
gotta
you
check
believe He
ourselves.
love you, absolutely. If you believe God love you, then you got to know. He it's not just you, it's a whole
It
room
ain't
full
just
of people that
you.
God loves. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be mindful and about your business. That's why we were talking today on the Empower Morning Show about the how discipline is so
Hmm.
important. Because at the end
Yeah.
of the day, when you stop being inspired, when you stop being motivated, that discipline has to be what kicks in to make you continue to do the things you know you need to do to get you where you need to be. Tyler
Yeah.
said, I have healed so much that I can sense the taint before they touch me. So they get a
Mm.
fist bump. Being an empath, I'm choosy about who gets my full embrace. And you have to do that.
Yeah.
Just like they say, everybody shouldn't be able to pray for you because in the English language,
Oh.
it's pray. And you're saying, I want you to pray for me, pray for my good, pray that God removes distractions and things. But you are prey, you want my demise. You're setting me up for failure.
Hmm.
You want
Hmm.
to see me slide down a thing and then fall off the cliff and ask you to help me and you let me go. You
Yeah. And you
be
gonna watch me
mindful
do it.
and you're gonna watch me do it.
Mhm. I had to do the same thing. That I think that was another big lesson for me, knowing when it was time to take a step back,
Mm-hmm,
because I did that a lot. I'm seeing people asking for prayer, prayer, while they're praying, praying,
mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm,
I was trying to figure out why, as much as I was pouring into people, that it felt like it was so draining. And for a long time, I honestly thought that was part of my ministry. I'm so drained because that's what ministry looks like. No. Ministry is refreshing. Ministry
yes.
is easy, it's healing. So if you feeling drained, that's because something is pulling on you that shouldn't, because while you're pouring, something should be pouring into you. You can't
Mm-hmm,
pour from an empty cup. And that's one of the things that I had to learn, because I was doing too much,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
way too much, overextending myself. And I realize, and I bet that's most of the people that's watching. I realized that half of the things I was depressed about, half of the things I was getting anxiety about, it wasn't even my problem.
I
It
know,
was
isn't that
everybody
crazy?
else's.
Not
Everybody
crazy.
else's. Yeah.
And I love that you said ministry is not draining. It should be refreshing. It should give you peace. It should give you joy. Whatever you're doing in life, you should be able to judge how you feel in terms of whether or not you should keep doing it. If you're
Mhm.
going and you're serving somewhere at a place where somebody's pulling you down or they're draining your energy or whatever, maybe that's not where you're supposed to serve at. Because whatever you're doing, when you in your passion, you know how they say, when you follow your passion, it doesn't even feel like work. You can work all day
Mhm.
long doing what you love doing, and you just like, girl, child, do a couple more hours. So I just love doing what I'm doing. That should be how it should be in your friendships,
Yeah.
in your business, in your hobbies, in the things that you enjoy, because it should bring you joy. It should give you a feeling of freedom, not that
Mhm.
you are feeling like, oh my God, if they cut. Every time you see their picture pop up or you see the text from them or whatever, it shouldn't aggravate your spirit. Because if it
Right.
is, that's a problem. And it's something that you should be asking God. Please, you, the Spirit, reveal to me what this is because obviously
Mhm.
I'm not getting it.
Right. Literally. I'm missing something. Show me.
I'm missing something here. He said, you were carrying around everyone's baggage, but not anymore. It's the freedom. And so, again, helping you with mindset so that you can be
Mhm.
about your money. So, in this last 15 minutes, let's switch to the money conversation.
Okay.
Today is
My
April the
favorite
15th.
part.
Today is April the 15th, baby. And y'all know it was typically tax deadline day, but at the same time, people can ask for extensions and things like that. So, what I have realized for some reason during this particular tax season, people have moved a little differently. People aren't
Mhm.
spending like they used to. What do you think? Is that because of how the current administration is, and you think people are just kind of let me wait and see what's going on before I get out here and then get rid of this little lump sum I got, or are people more wiser and saying, you know what, let me be more about investing or looking for opportunities, so that my money can grow because I have this little nest egg.
That's a really good question. And I think it's a combination of a few things, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
One, economy shifting. Where it's going up, it comes down, but what must up must come down, right? So things are costing us more where we're not
Yeah.
making more. So where I normally have money in this time to do those things that I normally enjoy doing, I'm catching up. Or my mindset has shifted to where I'm trying to get ahead, so I'm not back in this place again,
Right.
which goes into number 2. We're in a position where I wanna be a little bit more wiser with my money because Coach T said, "You shouldn't be in this situation again," and y'all know I'll tell you that in a minute. I think it's a combination of both, and one thing that I do love seeing is I'm seeing a lot more individuals that are investing in themselves, not just on real estate or things of that nature, but knowledge. One of the things that I
Mm-hmm.
love, and one of the things that I'll tell anybody is find something that you can learn how to be better at,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't matter what it is because you can monetize off anything in this day and age. Take a course, learn something, get a trade that you can do outside of your average 9 to 5. Because as things shift, we have to learn how to move with the way things are shifting in order to stay ahead. Because if you're still on what they did in 99 or 2000, then you're already
Mm-hmm.
25 years behind, right?
Right.
So I think a lot of people, and what I'm seeing is a lot of people doing a lot more investing in the knowledge part because
Mm-hmm.
time and knowledge you can't take that or get that back.
That is so true. I mean, I don't think honestly that we appreciate time like we should because we're always thinking
True.
you got more time. But at the end of the day, the more days you go forward, the less time you have left. So you
Hmm.
got to be mindful of if you want freedom, it should be time freedom, financial freedom, but in freedom from your mind being, caught up with everyone else's everything else.
Yeah.
But you can't get there until you appreciate those areas so that you can learn to do better. You know what I'm saying? When they say, well, you know
Hmm.
better, do better. You can't do better if you don't know better. So that means you
Yeah.
got to invest and you should want to see as you get older, things get better, you know. And if you can look at anybody else's situation, look at yours first. If you fix yours first, then it positions you to be able to do even more.
That's
So
true.
as people are coming to you, Coach T, because you have taken what you've done and expanded it out. Like where you started, you scaled it to another level. Let's talk about scaling. How were you able to do that? And what's the thought processes and principles behind taking where you are and scaling it up to different levels?
First thing is understanding there's a million ways to make money. That means that you can create 7 sources of income out of anything. And when
Mm-hmm.
I learned that saved and changed my life financially, emotionally, physically, you name it. Why? Because I learned how to take one thing that I knew how to do and create 7 sources of income from it.
Mm-hmm.
So, one of the things, and I'm one of those unorthodox coaches, right? I tell you how to move differently compared to what the world's telling you to do. And I do it based on proven facts. I've never been the type to go with the wave. I always like to do something, things a little bit
Yeah.
differently. And what I've noticed, a lot of people talk about niching down, sell one product, sell one service. We're not in a day and age where that works, especially when you're
Mm-hmm.
in a faceless marketing type of culture, right?
Uh-huh.
So when you're ready to scale, you got to always be a student. I teach thousands of people a year, but I still learn, by
Right.
people that teach 1,000 people's a year. I go to conferences, I understand that those are tax write-offs. I think one of the things that I want to share because there's a lot of new entrepreneurs here as well. A lot of entrepreneurs don't understand, especially having a business. Write your business on your taxes, write it off. Why? Because now these networking events that you're paying for, now these conferences that you want to go to that's teaching you something different, it's a write off. And a lot of times we're not going to these events because we're thinking about what we're spending in that moment, and we're not thinking about how we can write that off and how it's going to benefit us later. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn how to take this one thing, and I started in the credit repair industry, and I had to learn how can I take credit repair and make it seven sources of income. And that's what I did. I went and learned how to make digital products from credit repair. Then I learned how to teach it. And then I learned how to teach people how to start a business. Then I learned to teach you how to do it yourself. And then I created this and that and this and that. And what happened is
Mm-hmm.
I was able to create seven sources from it. When I learned something new, I created seven sources from that tax
Mm-hmm.
preparation. And I kept going with every single thing that I did. So you have to really take a look at your business, see what it is that what you do, and how can I make seven sources of income from that? Once you've done that, because you, even if you're a service-based business, there should be some form of product or service or something that you can offer that can help you make money even while you're not working.
Mm.
That's important.
That
We're in a digital
that
product
one
community.
thing right there you can take and run with. But it
Yeah.
is being having the ability to see what you have and then look at how you can expand it out. Because
Mhm.
everybody may not need this, or everybody may not want to come to you and have you do it. Some people may say, look, just tell me what I need to do and I can do it myself.
Yeah.
That's where the course can come in, where you can take this course and learn how to do it. Boom, I made some money and I ain't even have to do that because you're gonna do it yourself.
Right.
Somebody else may say, "Oh, get your now I need you to do everything for me." Then that's gonna
That's
require
another
something
form of
different.
income.
Somebody else
Mhm.
may say, "Shoot, I can do it and I love to have you do it, but I want to show other people how to do it too." That's another thing. It's so many ways, but you have to be open to what you do and know how to take it and allow it to go in different directions.
Mhm.
Just from
Get
that
out of your
one thing.
comfort zone.
Get out of your comfort zone, because just because you're used to teaching doesn't mean that you can't create a product that allows you to make money in your sleep. You
Come
just got to
on.
think outside of the box. But again, that also comes from the person that helped you become $100,000 there is not going to help you be a millionaire.
That is so true.
The
That
person
is
that helped
so
you be a
true.
millionaire is not going to help you be a billionaire. You got to be able to, as you scale up your mentorship, scale up
Mhm.
the information that you're receiving. Who told you how to do this? Because y'all just think, even when you talk about reading the Bible, you can have somebody who can tell you, you can read it by yourself. Then you can have somebody else who can do a Bible study and they can teach you things. You're like, oh, I didn't, oh,
I
wait
didn't
a
know
minute,
that.
right
Yeah.
there.
Mhm.
Then you get somebody else who's on a whole nother level and will break some things down and give you some revelation about yourself that's in the word. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, wait a minute. It's levels to everything. And just because, and we never arrive. You
Yeah.
never arrive because it's always another level to go up.
Mhm. That's true, and that's good too. That's good.
I'm just so excited because I'm telling y'all, we have covered some good stuff. I mean, go back and look at the replay because again, mindset, money. I'm talking about and then she just told you what she did just like this. She just put it out there. Do you know how many people can't tell you what they do? You put it out there so people can understand about legacy and mindset and money and how it all works together. So
Yeah.
when you decided to do luxury legacy consulting, what made you put luxury in there?
I feel like a lot of people don't understand that luxury is not always money. You know, it's not always high dollar. It's classy, it's elegant, it's confidence, you know. And I'm not one of those coaches that wants to charge $1,012, but I want you to feel like it, you know. So I decided to say it's a luxury legacy because the legacy that I leave for my family gives them that confidence to keep doing what I taught or what I instilled in them. And that's
Mhm,
a luxury. To know that I'm working this hard to build something for my family, that's a luxury. To
mhm,
have the sense of freedom, you know, in business, that's a luxury. So when I think about your legacy and what you're leaving, I think about it creating that luxury for the people that's coming behind you, whether that's business, whether it's personal, it's a story. And just like with, you know, my previous business, you know, it was a dream
mhm,
financial. That was you going into the dream, the things that you wanted. But like you said, as you level up, You got to level up. So now that I'm no longer at a season of dreaming about what could happen, dreaming about what I could do, dreaming about where I could be, now I'm saying I'm sitting in this legacy. And this is a luxury for me. This is a luxury for my kids. No matter how much it feels right now, I know that once they get to feel it, oh, they not
Mm-hmm.
gonna want for nothing. And because I thought about my kids, that's where it came from. I think that we as a minority have to get to a place of understanding it's okay to have, to feel good and to have the things that make us feel good. As
Mm-hmm.
long as it's making us feel good financially, make us look good. That purse is okay. But what did you buy that purse for? Did you buy it because you met a goal, your savings goal, or did you
Mm-hmm.
buy it because you were stressing? Like what was that
Mm-hmm.
for? So
Right.
that's where it came from.
Because retail therapy, baby, is not always good. Look,
Ooh,
you got to
I
be
learned the hard
mindful of
way.
that. Yes, because you know what? Because they put therapy on the end, you think like you want to justify like it's okay. But if retail therapy is setting you back from the goal that you set to save money or to invest
Hmm.
money, then you're not really getting therapy from that. You're just prolonging what you should have been more
But you
disciplined
already been
about.
saying you wanted to do.
Thank you. We
Hmm.
gotta know, we gotta stand on what they say, stand on business when it comes to what you want to accomplish in life. What kind of legacy are you leaving? What kind of luxury life are you creating? What kind
Yeah.
of things are you allowing to pour yourself into that you are getting peace from, that you are getting good energy from? Those are
Hmm.
things that you should maintain, and you should look at ways to help enhance it so that you can go to that next level with it. Coach T, before we get out of here, what do you want to leave the people with?
Oh, that's a good one. Um, the biggest thing is every dream one that you desire to do, you can do it. Put your mind to it. I can give you a million things. I can tell you I can give you a strategy, but if you don't see it, it'll never get there. Stand on business, like Angela said. And when you don't know, ask somebody because there are people out here that support you. I'm out here to support you. If you have a business idea, you have a goal, you have a dream, you got Coach T. I like seeing women level up. I like seeing minorities level up. I like seeing everybody grow and develop, whether it's financially, from a business aspect, emotionally, or physically. So anything that you all need, you can definitely find me. It is Talisha Shanice on social media. And I'm here to support whatever it is that you're trying to do.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Make sure you follow her. Tag in, tap in the luxury. What is the group that you have that people
The
get into?
legacy group.
The legacy group. Yes.
Hmm.
Get into the legacy group because this is the thing. One thing about you, you're not shy about sharing information. You know what I'm saying? A lot of
Mm-mm.
people have a lot of information they won't share. They hoard it to themselves. They're fat on knowledge because they're not sharing anything, right? But get
Hmm.
into the legacy group because you will find ways to help yourself or help Coach T help you. Either way,
Absolutely.
that's information that you can get for free. It's a group that you can get into and you decide how deep you want to go and how much you want to pay to do different things. But at least make the effort. If you're ready and sick and tired of doing something, get in these groups where the knowledge is being dropped and then figure out where you're trying to go so that you can get there. And then ask the
Yeah.
questions that you need to ask so that you can have the answers that you need to have.
Yes.
See, I am so glad that you were on here. I mean,
Thank you.
again, it was going to be about taxes and credit and business and all of that. They got a little whiff of that, but it was all about mindset because if your mindset is not right, none of that you can't. You're not going to be able to get there. If you got there, you can't stay there because your
Yeah,
mindset won't allow you to.
that's
So get
true.
the mindset right first. And Coach T is prime example. What she said, I had a goal and I exceeded my goal because it was more than just dropping the weight. It was releasing myself from a
Yeah.
lot of things that I know that was no longer serving me. And as those things dropped off, the weight dropped off. It was a physical
Hmm.
manifestation of what was going on mentally, emotionally, all those things. So thank you for being on here.
Yeah.
And will you tell them again how they can get in touch with you? How can they follow you on social media platforms?
Absolutely. So you all can follow me on any social media platform at Talisha Shanice. You can find me Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. I also have a group on Facebook called the Legacy Group. If you're a female entrepreneur and you are looking to grow and scale your businesses and you want free resources there, I do have an off social media community called the High Class Hustle Academy, where I teach women for free how to sell digital products online and grow and scale their businesses. So definitely come join us. We would love to come motivate you and encourage you and just let you know that you got the support from us.
Listen, y'all better connect. I'm telling y'all, your connections can make you or break you. So this is a season to collaborate with people who want to see you win, so we can all win together. And this lady right here is somebody you need to be connected to. So if you don't know, now you know. Go ahead and follow her so you can get in with all the good. Because 2025 is about to be explosive for a whole
Yes.
lot of people. You got to be connected to the right people though to make sure you get what you, because we're not dealing with plastic, baby. We're dealing straight with iron sharpening iron.
Iron
We ain't fooling
sharpen
with
iron.
plastic, baby. We are not fooling with plastic. Listen, we got to get out of here. Y'all make sure y'all tune in next week. It will be another great guest. And then of course, please follow Coach T, because I'm telling y'all, you will not regret it. Coach T, you good?
I'm good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you next time.